Boyd K. Packer publicly denounced the article at a gathering of church members just weeks after its publication. And then he or other church authorities then instructed D. Michael Quinn's stake president to revoke his temple recommend. Not only would that deprive Quinn, a true believing member who was a temple worker, from being able to attend the temple, but by no longer having a temple recommend, that meant Quinn could no longer be employed at BYU. So in other words, it was a way for Michael Quinn to lose his job. Fortunately for D. Michael Quinn, he had an understanding stake president who told him the whole backstory of what he was instructed to do. And the stake president came to a compromise. He said, well, I'm going to fulfill the letter of the instruction given to me, and I'm going to take your temple recommend. But instead of revoking it, I'm just going to put it in a drawer in my desk. And so if your leaders at BYU, your higher ups, ask you, do you have a temple recommend, which again is necessary for BYU employment, Quinn was to say, yes, I do. He just wasn't to volunteer the fact that it was sitting in his stake president's drawer. Now that granted D. Michael Quinn at least a little bit more time, but not too long. His privileges as an academic employee were increasingly curtailed. It was made clear that it was not going to get any easier. So eventually, within a couple of years, he resigned from BYU. And then a few years after that, he was excommunicated as part of the September 6th in 1993. Maybe a topic for another day. If you want to know more about this story in Quinn's life and the cataclysmic ramifications that came from his scholarship, I strongly recommend an essay he wrote for Sunstone titled Background and Fallout of My 1985 Article. You can also read a chapter that was written by the scholar Christina Rossetti on Quinn's study of Mormon fundamentalism. Her chapter is titled Uncovering the End of Polygamy, D. Michael Quinn and the Sacred Work of History, which appeared in a volume that I was very privileged to edit, titled DNA Mormon Perspectives on the Legacy of Historian D. Michael Quinn. And then perhaps the most important source, if you want to dig into this more, is Quinn's own memoir, titled A Chosen Path, and published by Signature Books.